Hey internet friends, this is kind of a spontaneous video that I'm making so that you can see how to turn a raggedy old knitted or crocheted thing. In this case I'm doing my favorite cowl. You can see it's all pilly and fluffy and raggedy looking, and so how to get that to look more like that. You can see how this looks a lot cleaner than this. So I did launder this recently. The dirtiness is more due to the wearing out of the yarn. And this is a very special thing to me. One of my best friends made it for me one Christmas, and that was probably 3 years ago. So now I want this to not look so grody. I just started doing this and realized how useful this skill is for people, would be for people to have. Historically, I use heavy quotations there, but it used to be that people would just cut these little pills off. That's what they're called, when it pills like this and creates little nubbins of fiber that are no longer part of the yarn, and they're just sort of like scraggly and hanging off of things. So it used to be that people would just cut that off, and while I'm sure that works, I never want to do it because I'm always afraid that I'm going to sabotage the integrity of the fibers in the piece itself. So instead of doing that, what I'm doing is taking a needle felting needle. I have one in a handle here, and then putting the cowl on this sponge and then just needle felting the little pills back into place. So I'm gonna do that for like 2 minutes on camera, and then you can see how it's done, and then that's the end of the video, because like I said, this is just a spontaneous video that I'm making because I feel like this is a useful skill to have and a great way to rescue your favorite woolen things. Like, maybe I should be doing it to this sweater as well. You can see it looks like old and raggedy, but it's still perfectly good. There's no holes in the garment, and it's very warm and very practical. So instead of trying to find another sweater like this, which would be difficult, I'm not even sure what era this is in fashion from, but I do know that it's one of my warmest, most favorite winter things and fall things, and it's great. It's a woolen hoodie. So for example, if you have something like this that's got this going on and you don't like the look of it, you can, instead of cutting off those little frayed bits, little pilling bits, you can needle felt them back into the garment and probably make the garment stronger in the long run. If someone is a textiles artist and they know the real answer to that theory, please put it in the comments below so we all know whether that is factual or whether I'm just making it up. Okay, just gonna get this onto my sponge, and you can see there's lots of pilling happening. And honestly, the fastest, easiest way, because this is such a large stitch, I don't have to worry too much about exactly where I'm poking things in, because if I just sort of move along the cowl in a diagonal line, poking along the diagonal line, I'm actually doing a really good job of getting those fibers hooked back into the piece, and I'm not compromising the look and feel of my cowl. So before I move on to the next section, I do try to make sure I get all the pieces completely woven in. So like after I've done the diagonal thing a couple of times in both directions, there'll probably still be pieces that are sticking out that didn't get incorporated. Oh, this is the dog. We have matching hair right now. Anyway, so here, I'll get real close. So I lift my little tuft with the needle and then poke it in, and then just make sure it's well incorporated, and then it's not a problem anymore. And you can do it as much or as little as you want. Keep in mind, if you do it too much, you're going to change the feel of the fabric or the garment. Okay. And I figure that I'm going to be able to finish this cowl, like finish repairing it, in about 15 minutes. I feel like this is a 15-minute job. So really not hard to get her done. And I'm just cleaning up the edges. Oh, the shadow is the cat. I'm not sure what look he had on his face there. Anyway. Alright, and there's just some fluffy furry bits that I want to get in there. And then that'll be that. So I'll do the before and after for like the next section, but that's basically it. You can see it looks nice and smooth, neat and tidy, not the gross mess that it was, right? This is the side I haven't fixed yet. This is the side I just finished fixing. Alright, so that's how to repair a woolen thing with a needle felting needle, or how to incorporate pilling fibers back into the garment that they're coming out of. Yes, maybe the reason this is not something that a lot of people think to do is because it has a very unsnazzy title. But there you have it. So I'm Artisan Janelle, and I make things, but I also repair things instead of having to buy new ones or find new ones, especially you know, if your grandma knitted you a sweater and it's looking worse for the wear, and you want to keep wearing it, but you don't want to ruin it forever and ever. This is a great way to save your woolies. Okay, before and after pictures to follow, and then subscribe, like, comment, like, let's participate, because if you don't, it's just me shouting into the void. And I just need feedback sometimes, so feel free to let me know what you think, if this was helpful. Okay.